What's up, weirdos? Breaking news! Katy Perry is flopping? That's a headline that could be used for the last decade. Katy Perry is in the middle of another attempt at reviving her career, trying to make a comeback album, and it has been so disastrously bad, so embarrassing, so humiliating, to the point that where I kind of feel bad for her. But everything is going so wrong to the point that, like, I just have to talk about it. So on Twitter, I did a search from between May and July of 2024. This is when Katy Perry was like announcing her comeback, and it was like kind of entering her era. She was trying to make an era happen. And if you look at the stuff that she's putting out there and that people are saying about what she's putting out there during this period, it's actually pretty positive. But before I get into all of her flopping, I just want to show a little bit of this, like showing what she was trying to do. This is her Instagram story she's posted with Saweetie.
Are you a real Katy cat or a fake Katy cat? I'm a real Katy cat. That's right, man!
You know, showing that she's collaborating with the new, currently relevant artists, unlike her. I'm not honestly like a Katy Perry hater. I'm not like on the stan culture stuff, but it's like she has a need on a clinical level to flop. But during the era where things were good, like she was doing fashion shows. Look at her, she's doing I don't know what this is, but it's something. And she'd shared a snippet, and this post had 19,000 likes. It would never happen on today's Twitter after her amount of embarrassment, but at the beginning, can't play too much more, but they said the new Katy Perry snippet, OMG, it's giving Teenage Dream. We're so back. Well, that ended up not being the case. But one last thing, this is the first thing that I saw from her like new era. And it's her showing up to this event with a dress that is so long, and all of the lyrics of her next song, Woman's World, are written on like the trail of it. Yeah, so it's like this. Yeah. Cool. But then it goes on for so long. And a minute into it, like this guy comes and he just starts like dragging it in because there's too much. Like, look at that. I mean, first of all, it's a pretty funny bit. It's funny. But then that song came out. It's a woman's world. That one. And people noticed a couple things. First of all, it sucks. But second of all, and probably most importantly related to how embarrassing and a flop this comeback is, it's the song, and multiple songs on the album are produced by a guy named Dr. Luke. If you don't know Dr. Luke, I'm gonna give you a quick little refresher.
He produced Since You've Been Gone by Kelly Clarkson. Also, I Kissed a Girl by Katy Perry, Hot and Cold Katy Perry, TikTok, and a lot of other songs by Kesha.
Kesha is a very important person that we're gonna talk about in a second.
Party in the USA by Miley Cyrus, Girls by Pitbull. He produced for Weezer, for fucking iCarly, Lil Jon, Akon.
Bro who dry humped a 14-year-old on stage. Victoria Justice, Flo Rida, Britney Spears, One Direction. There are so many. I mean, fucking Doja Cat.
The Kid Laroi, Juice WRLD, Young Thug, Tay Money, fucking Saweetie, Coi Leray, Kim Petras, Tyga, fucking Flo Milli, Lil Durk, Morgan Wallen, J. Cole, Paris Hilton.
This guy is like a very, very successful producer who has produced for some of the biggest names in the music industry. In addition to that, Kesha, you know, the artist that he produced songs for, took him to court for drugging and her. Allegedly. Was that recent? Because a lot of these artists were working with him very recently. No, this story has had traction and everybody's known about it for a while. I'm gonna read a little bit from the court case from 2014. And then there's stuff that gets resolved in 2020. Like, we're just gonna talk about this for a second. Kesha, sworn under oath. This is from the court document. She said, Dr. Luke has been tyrannical and abusive since our relationship began. I was too young and naive to even understand what he was doing to me. The first glaring, inexcusable assault was sexual and drug related. I had recently turned 18 and being far too trusting, he had told me to come to a party. I really did feel like he was going to watch out for me. I was his new artist. We went to a party and I had a few drinks. Upon leaving the club, he gave to me and told me to take what he referred to as a sober pill. I remember only a little after this, just moments, but what I do very much remember was waking up naked in his bed, feeling like I was gonna die. I couldn't keep down water and I didn't know where I was or where my clothes were. I remember calling my mom and telling her I needed to go to the hospital. At some point over the following few days, I called my best friend and poured over the details. It didn't add up. I had only a few drinks, but after I had taken his sober pill, I blacked out. I told her how I believed Dr. Luke had me. By the way, just little thing to point out here, I had recently turned 18. Want to put that out there, just keep that in mind. Recently turned 18. There's a little bit more that I want to read from this document that just says, then came Dr. Luke's threats. This is still Kesha speaking. I specifically remember him telling me that if I ever tried to get away from him for any reason, that he would tie me up in litigation until my career was over. Interesting how this happened in 2005 and it's still being drug out until 2024, when he himself said that he would drag it out. And by the way, when this was going on, 2014, it had been basically 10 years since then. So his threats of tying her up in litigation, you know, when you're reading it in a court case 10 years later, that's what he did. Wait, by the way, in the document here, it says filed in 2022. It says index 2014. I think this statement might have come in from 2022. Because this next document in the case about Lady Gaga, by the way, yeah, Lady Gaga, it says at the top filed 2018. I think that's what it is. But first, I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, Finn. Finn has this product called Bone Broth Plus that I've been using for Gustav before they ever reached out to sponsor me. It comes in this container, and if you look inside, you can see it's like a powder. But what it does is it helps with your dog's joints and mobility. That way, later in his life, Gustav is still going to be able to be active, have healthy joints. And by the way, it's just made with 6 ingredients: beef bone broth, apple, sweet potato, sunflower, turmeric, and blueberry. Just packed with collagen and amino acids, great for your dog's health. And there's multiple ways you can do it, by the way. You can just sprinkle it over top your dog's food, or you could mix the powder with warm water and make it into a broth and then pour that over the food. You can even bake it into a treat, which I haven't done, by the way, but I definitely am going to. Gus's favorite is when I mix it with water and then freeze it into a little popsicle, because he just loves that. Or even, I mean, there's so many different ways you could do it, but also like a lick mat is a great way. And Gustav loves the taste of it. Sometimes it's difficult to get him to eat at a certain time of the day, but if I just sprinkle this over the food, he immediately goes and eats it, because he loves it. He loves it. By the way, their products are all developed and reviewed by a team of veterinarians and pet nutritionists. That way it ensures your pet's like health. Everything is super tested, and they even have a happiness guarantee with a 60-day money-back guarantee. 60 days, that just tells you they're confident. And they should be. This stuff is actually really good. I highly recommend you try out Finn's Bone Broth Plus. You can just click the link in my description or scan the QR code and get 15% off your first order of Bone Broth Plus with code FilmCooper15 at checkout. FilmCooper15, 15% off your first Bone Broth order. Bone Broth Plus, Finn. Thank you so much for sponsoring this video. Now, Gustav, back to the other stuff. Anyways, Lady Gaga was very supportive of Kesha publicly during this and privately as well. Now, also importantly and very oddly, the lawyer who was working with Kesha also claimed that Lady Gaga was by Dr. Luke, which is kind of a weird thing because Lady Gaga and Dr. Luke both said, no, that never happened. So that's why this whole situation, it's weird. But anyways, Lady Gaga had posted in support of her. There's a tweet right here that they kept. There are people all over the world who love you, Kesha, and I can truly say I am in awe of your bravery. This coming out after the allegations against Dr. Luke were, shared by Kesha. So publicly showing support for Kesha in the face of this. Now is where Katy Perry comes in, because it's not just that she worked with this guy, she's also involved personally in this case, because Kesha said that Dr. Luke also to Katy Perry, and then Katy Perry, sworn under oath in court, said no. I'm gonna read you the transcript. So the Q is for question, A is for answer. Answers are by Katy Perry. Some of the stuff is blocked out, but we're gonna start right here. The lawyer asks Katy Perry, have you ever told anyone in writing or verbally that he was sexually inappropriate or assaulted you in any way sexually? Katy Perry says no. They say, and I take it you never told Miss Siebert, Kesha, either. She says no. They ask, are you familiar with an individual named John Janik Universal? She says, yeah, kind of. I mean, I know his name. Question says, I assume you never told Mr. Janik that Dr. Luke or sexually assaulted you. She said, no, I couldn't pick him out of crowd. The lawyer said, pardon? She said, I couldn't pick him out of crowd. Which is not obviously talking about Dr. Luke, she's talking about Mr. Janik, who she just said, I've heard his name. So then they go on and ask her, are you also aware that Kesha has made a statement that Dr. Luke you? Katy Perry says, yes, I am aware of that statement. They said, did Dr. Luke ever you? She said, no. They asked, did Dr. Luke ever sexually assault you? She said, absolutely not. They said, did he ever give you a roofie? She said, no. They said, did you have a sexual relationship with Dr. Luke at all? She said, no. They said, a romantic relationship? She said, no. They asked, so Miss Siebert's statement that Dr. Luke was false? She said, yes, ma'am. They said, have you ever told anyone, even joking, that Dr. Luke you? She said, absolutely not. They asked later, did you ever speak to her about Dr. Luke? She said, no. They asked, did you ever tell her that Dr. Luke you? She said no. They asked, did you ever tell her that Dr. Luke sexually assaulted you? She said no. So that's who Dr. Luke is, and that is who Katy Perry decided for her comeback album she'd like him to produce her songs. Which I get off the understanding that he is a proven hit maker, produced stuff for Doja Cat like Say So, produced Katy Perry's hits. So it's like if she's trying to go back to that era, then it makes sense. But Katy, don't work with that man. It's a very weird situation. That's a believable story. I believe Kesha. In addition to that, it is a little bit odd that Kesha and her team named other people specifically who Dr. Luke also allegedly, and both of those people said, no, that never happened. So it's odd, it's weird. But even if Katy Perry has only had very positive, very nice experiences with Dr. Luke and he's been a very perfect gentleman around her, even if that's the case, at least look at how it looks to everybody else. But also there's a double standard, because are we saying the same things to Saweetie? Are we saying the same things to Doja Cat? I mean, some people are, some people definitely are, but I think that it's heightened by her proximity to the case. Even though her proximity to the case kind of makes it it is odd that Kesha would say that about her and then she's like, no, it's not true. But there's texts between Kesha and Lady Gaga about Katy Perry in this situation. Kesha said, I'm really upset with Katy Perry. Lady Gaga, did she do something? By the way, this just reads like a fan fiction, but it's real. These are texts that they they shared together. Kesha says she could bring the whole thing to a head. Lady Gaga, did she? Kesha, she won't. Lady Gaga, oh right, yeah, that is tough. Kesha said she was by the same man, it's sick. But Lady Gaga said she is probably really afraid to lose everything. You are really strong standing up to him. She's not as strong as you yet. Have you talked to her? Kesha said, you're right. Yeah, she's so not as strong as me. It's crazy that these texts have leaked because that's like what she's saying. It's crazy. She says, I need to find sympathy and empathy for her. She's so mean. It's hard. Lady Gaga says, do you want me to see if I can talk to her? I know she's mean. Kesha, are you friendly with her? Lady Gaga, no. Oh my God, no. She makes me angry about shit, but I just try to have empathy for her. So kind of wild to see those texts are out there. But they've reconciled. Lady Gaga even tweeted out after those texts got leaked. She said, Katy Perry and I have grown up in the industry together. We've gone through both celebrations and differences with each other. These are old texts. We've matured, gotten over the past, love each other, and shared deep respect. Katy's my friend and is truly a kind soul. End of story. Katy Perry said, love you too, friend. Onward and upward. So do you see what I mean by this is a odd situation, especially when so many people are collaborating with Dr. Luke. So that's what I just wanted to illustrate that point and like really dive into that because that is a crucial thing to be understanding before we get into everything else, because that is the reason that people like open up the floodgates of, nah, fuck it, we don't like her anyways. Now we're getting into the flop because look at this tweet. The stuff that I showed earlier was when she was on her comeback. We're doing a comeback. I'm posting cool stuff. I'm doing fashion shows, posting all sorts of pictures with a lot of skin. And then people were like, oh, this shit's by Dr. Luke. And then they're saying stuff like this. Katy Perry is intentionally setting herself up for failure because her album is produced by an abuser where she knew that collabing with him would face immense backlash. Then Woman's World, her 400th song about female empowerment, is written by ChatGPT with the video starring Trisha Paytas. It goes on and on and on, but that kind of sums up the public sentiment once this stuff started coming out. Like her music. Because that's the thing. A lot of these other artists aren't facing criticism for working with Dr. Luke because the song is so good that people just like, I'm not even gonna pay attention. You can't tell me that's not true. That is 100% happening with artists like Saweetie. But when the music is so bad, there's not even a conversation of separate the art from the artist. If you don't want the art, why would you care about separating it from the artist? If it's two pieces of shit, let's just call it shit. Her single Woman's World, oh my God. You know what? Let me just pull it open on YouTube. Oh wait, let me watch this first actually.
Math related to science?
Okay, thank you, Katie. Let's go to your latest song. Remember when that happened? Everybody hated her? Not hated her, but they were like, oh, she's so cringe. And then she hasn't had any personal growth since then, which is fine. Okay, Woman's World, Katy Perry, one of the biggest pop artists of personally my generation. Her comeback single, her comeback where she's putting so much into this. This is her last chance. Everybody was talking about it. Like, Katy Perry, don't mess this up. This is your last chance. We're not gonna give you another shot. And her debut single music video that was supposed to be everything has 13 million views. Now listen, I've never got a video with 13 million views on YouTube, but for Katy Perry, I know it's a different era, but that's just not the artist that she used to be. She used to get crazy numbers. And also Billie Eilish, her song Lunch came out just 1 month before and it has 43 million views. So it's not just the streaming era. Look at this music video. Okay, starting with spray painting to women working. Okay, Rosie the Riveter, sipping a bottle of whiskey for women. Putting a little bit of gasoline in her butt. Now, with just the visuals of this, you could be like, oh, no, this is kind of funny. This is kind of good. But if you hear the song, I'm just gonna play a little bit. So imagine that, but 1.75 times slower. The sacrifices that you make to your reputation by working with somebody like Dr. Luke are made up for by lyrics and music that goes like this. Sexy, confident, so intelligent, she is heaven sent, so soft, so strong. And then the chorus, yeah, it's a woman's world and you're lucky to be living in it. This would make a lot more sense off a JoJo Siwa single. And that is my biggest criticism for you, Katy Perry. If it sounds like JoJo Siwa lyrics, it's like you gotta go back to the drawing board. The Guardian gave it a score of 20. Hey, pretty good, double 10? Oh, no, 20 out of 100. They said, Perry's solo return is a dated attempt at writing a feminist anthem about how women really can have it all. It's a song that made me feel stupider every sorry time I listened to it. This garbage has 6 writers. Oh, damn. That's what everybody was saying. Because that's what it is. It's kind of like, I don't know, felt like it was talking down to people. Like, it's kind of annoying. Like, hey, I'm a girl and I'm gonna sing about how girls are so cool. Every girl has to stream this. Otherwise, come on, that's the vibe it had. Just like no coherent thought, just, well, I'm a girl. Katy Perry, you are 53 years old. You are too old to be saying, I'm just a girl. Somebody ratioed her with this tweet I'm about to show you. It has 200,000 likes. This is the popular opinion. Like, everybody is thinking this about Katy Perry while they're watching this. Cannot be overstated how evil it is to make a song called Women's World with the music video echoing back to 40s World War II era egalitarianism, not feminism, on a song produced by a monstrous after your past attempt to do feminism flopped so hard, it created the term flop. And that had 200,000 likes because everybody thinks it. Look at how people talk about her. The term Katy Perrification has become commonly used on Stan Twitter to describe artists whose careers are taking a nosedive. But hey, maybe people hate viewed it and then it became a big hit. Well, we know it only got 13 million views. And major label artist Katy Perry suffers a major blow in the UK as Woman's World debuts with a peak lower than every single from Witness and Smile. Witness and Smile famously her flops. Those are the albums, I think Witness specifically, that created the term flop. That's not actually true, but like the way people talk about flop is directly related to how hard she flopped with Witness. And this is even bigger than that. Do you realize how humiliating it is to have your third chance? You flop twice and you're like, fuck it, I got one more shot. Gotta put everything into it, and then you flop worse than before. Also this, a source says Katy is now demanding that they go back to the drawing board ahead of the release of more singles, and they're adjusting the album right now in a desperate attempt to salvage her comeback. They said she was insane to think that Dr. Luke was a good idea. Yeah, that's what I was saying a second ago. Obviously, I have the benefit of hindsight. She didn't listen to anyone. Instead of diving deep and creating art, she put something out that sounds like it could have been on an album of hers from 2010. Exactly. She wanted to have her comeback, so she went back to the person who made her other hits. Now, I know Dr. Luke has made current hits, objectively big hits. So I can see that in her mind, she's like, but no, it's stupid, Katy Perry. Katy Perry, it was stupid. It flopped so bad that they posted a behind the scenes video where she was saying like, I meant to flop. That's literally what she did. Look at this.
And we're kind of just having fun, being a bit sarcastic with it. It's very slapstick and very on the nose. And with this set, it's like, we're not about the male gaze, but we really are about the male gaze. And we're really overplaying it. And
how much you want to bet if the song was a hit, they never would have posted this bullshit? The thing is, Katy, it didn't feel like a stretch for you to have made this song. It's not like you've had a history of making good art and then this is like an anomaly and it's like, oh, what's she doing? And then, oh, it's a bit. That makes sense because she's such a talented artist. It was just so bad and so Katy Perry that for you to go, well, we're just really overplaying it and like being sarcastic and we're like, wow, okay, but that's fully believable for who you are as a person. Also, it's not really like a statement to just put a bunch of cliches on screen and then be like, I'm doing a cliche right now. There has to be like some sort of reason to it. Also, like conceptually, you could have done all of the same visuals, like literally the exact same thing, been sarcastic with it, been satirical with it, and you know, who cares? If the song is good is the thing, Katy. Everything that you're saying right now is about the music video, and that only has 13 million views, which is, you know, it's a lot of views, but the thing is, it's the song that everybody's making fun of. It's not the music video and the set decorations and the direction of it. It's the song that's playing the entire time, where the lyrics are sexy, confident, so intelligent, so soft, so strong. I'm not a woman, but if I was, trust me. Why did I say trust me like that? If I was a woman, what was my point? Oh, I would feel demeaned. I would listen to this music and I'm like, okay, so you're writing something just so I'll give you a little bit of money? Couple streams, you're that desperate? It's like pandering. It's so pandering. I don't know what Gus is doing right now. He's being so weird. And I know what you're thinking, like, oh, at a certain point, it has to, you know, turn the corner and things get okay. But that's the point. This is the beginning of the downfall. This is the beginning of the flop. Can you imagine? This video's been going on for so long. Hey, if you're still watching at this point, you have to subscribe. You have to. And you have to buy this necklace. This is my favorite necklace that I made for this launch. And it's like, I think the last one from this launch that still like got stock. It's my favorite one. It's the balloons. It's like pirate themed. Okay, you gotta stop stepping on my balls. Ow, stop. Ow. Okay, he's on my thighs now. We're good. No, but look, because it's got like gold skulls. All right, I was trying to show you. It's got gold skulls. It tastes really good, apparently. It's got stuff that looks like little gold coins. I don't know. It's like, you know, doubloons. It's like pirate stuff. Stop. Gustav. No. Thank you. Yes, good boy. Buddy's going through it. He's got dry skin right now. Look at the charts. This was supposed to be her smash hit, her guaranteed, secure, okay, we're back. And the peaks of Katy Perry's songs on the Billboard Hot 100 in the 2020s decades, it's got Woman's World at number 63. It peaked at number 63. That's JoJo Siwa numbers. And by the way, shout out JoJo. Don't shout out JoJo Siwa. Just shout out JoJo Siwa. Girl, just take a deep breath, please. We're begging. Or go to the WWE. But actually, oh my God, wait, I just forgot about this. I just saw it in my notes. No, I'm wrong. She did have a one win in the middle of this. In the midst of all of this, she headlined the Telstra Entertainment at the 2024 Toyota AFL Grand Final. What the hell is the AFL? that looks like a football, but AFL? Yeah, that's the Australian Football League. She was headlining the Australian Football League Grand Final. You know, as every artist does at their peak. This is so late stage, like Fat Elvis. Is it cool that we call him Fat Elvis? It's a third act Austin Butler in Elvis. That's the vibe that this is. Like, girl, just say no. Like, you can turn things down. Katy, just turn it down. She's also performing this year at the VMAs. She's receiving a Vanguard Award. I don't know what the hell any of that is, but congratulations. I think he just loves me being back because it took me, me with my dog. I think he just loves me so much it hurts him when he's not with me. No, but like, I was gone in Canada for a couple weeks, and now that I'm back home, he's just been like really, really wanting to be around me. I love it. Sorry, not trying to flex my sweet, cute dog. Then also, Kesha had a performance at Lollapalooza. By the way, she's also releasing an album during like all this going on. Like, she's coming back to the music scene, and she's doing like way better, and everybody's actually listening to her music. But at Lollapalooza, she came out and she said this. Listen, and then I'll tell you what she said if you didn't hear it. Run out on stage with a knife talking about backstabbers, says Katy Perry's to the left. I don't know how much more blatant you could be, like running out on stage talking about somebody's a backstabber saying Katy Perry, woo! And then you see clips of Katy Perry performing, and it's stuff like this. And it just forces you to confront the reality that your goat is washed. Look at this. Oh my god, that's actually so quirky. Wow, I never realized how crazy you were. First of all, I think special KP, I think that's funny. But I did think that it was a little bit weird seeing the middle-aged woman like not really trying to do a handstand and just kind of flopping around on the ground like she's an Australian breakdancer. That felt a little bit like she's washed. If you don't know what I'm talking about when I say washed, just look at this. It's like when you see somebody who was once great and they're just not the same anymore in this new situation, like Shaq with the Celtics or Adrian Peterson in a Seahawks jersey. By the way, genuinely, if you know who Adrian Peterson is, please comment. I'm gonna like search through all the comments if you know who Adrian Peterson is. I want to talk ball for a second. But back to Katy Perry, the other person who's washed. As a result of the first 15 flops that she's had and embarrassing moments on just this one release, she has just become somebody that people like clown on and hate because she's just flopping. Like, her character isn't somebody who came back and had a career resurgence. Her character is somebody who's addicted to flopping and they can't stop. It's like she just wants to flop more than she wants anything else in the rest of her life. So then she just goes on here and it's like,
So much effort. I just want the after cuddle.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think she's just licking a sour ball. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. That being said, the way that she acts there, and then also like this clip from the same video, people were just making fun of her. People were clowning on her. Look at this one, 52,000 likes. Methinks she just won the internet. Like calling her like a Reddit millennial, which is very fair based on how she acts. Katy Perry in 2024 is like, have you ever gone camping with somebody and then they had an older brother and then that older brother had a friend and they're kind of just like out of touch with what's going on and kind of like just cringe, but you love them and then it's like, they're sweet. They don't know that they're doing funny humor to you in 2024. That's how Katy Perry feels, except she's also making really shitty music and working with Dr. Luke. But wait, there's more. This is the best one. This is what pushed it over the edge where I was just like, I have to make the video now. I was just waiting for her album to come out, but I just have to make it now because of this. Katy Perry's under investigation by a government department due to possible environmental infringement. Balearic? Balearic? Okay, Balearic. Anyways, they're investigating her ass because allegedly they filmed a music video without authorization to be there. And it's a protected natural area. So if you've been wondering why I have little sea turtles on my shirt, it's in honor of all the sea turtles that her and her crew stepped on. And that's so not funny. I'm joking, Katy Perry's lawyers. I don't know about any individual specific turtles that you stepped on. I just know that you are under investigation by the Balearic government because you're in a protected area. Protected from humans for the nature. Flopping harder than she ever has. Worst music that she's ever made. Embarrassing videos posted on a daily basis. Collaborating with a known abuser. Under investigation by the Balearic government for possible infringements on the environment. Oh my god, this was supposed to be your comeback? I mean, you had a cool month where you wore a really long long dress with a bunch of shitty lyrics on the end of it. Oh man, it's really, really embarrassing. It's so embarrassing to be her because in order to have a successful comeback, you have to put so much effort into like really being in the cultural conscience. Like people have to really be paying attention to you and focusing on you. And trust me, Katy, I was locked in, I was tuned in. What I have seen is just unenforced blunder after unenforced blunder. Katy Perry, more like Katy Blunder. I just got a little meme board so I can do little sound effects. A man is allowed to fart, a woman must toot. You guys get that reference?
Monday left me broken.
Oh wait, oh my god, literally perfect timing.
You are my sunshine.
I have that on there anytime I'm talking about LeBron. I just get to turn that on. Katy Perry, listen, Gus. Katy Perry made mistake after mistake, and I think at this point, it's time to call it a wrap. You are a throwback. You're not gonna have a revival. Just play your hits and keep doing like your Vegas show or whatever you do where people come to listen to I Kissed a Girl and I Liked It. Because I think that the whole arena of new music, I just think that it's not for you, Katy. And I mean that genuinely. Like, it's very, very clear that it's just not happening. It's just not gonna work. Also, Cooper and Edit here, I know that she's like, there's rumors that she's gonna be on Charlie XCX's new remix. So, I mean, I guess there's a chance that something happens there, but yeah, I mean, everything else is just, it's flop on flop on flop. Oh man, but you know what sucks? She's married to Orlando Bloom, and Orlando Bloom jumped over a couch and punched Justin Bieber in the face one time. So shout out Orlando Bloom. Big Orlando Bloom guy over here. I don't know anything bad about him, and I don't think there is anything bad about him because he was Legolas, and he was Will Turner, and he's married to Katy Perry, who can't stop flopping. What the hell am I talking about? I'm just dragging it on. Please subscribe.
I don't know what it is about Gus these days, but he's just chill as a he's as chill as an ice cube. He's chill as a woolly mammoth in the middle of Antarctica right when it's getting cold. He's as chill as an ice cube up in Eskimo. That's chill. Trust me on that, believe me. He's as chill as 13 ice cubes side by